for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good guys, VENM Fire here back with another video, and today I'm bringing you guys another money play here out of the Gun Trips tight end. I was kind of doing a series with all these plays out of Trips tight end before I kind of stopped a little bit. Before I did like 2 or 3 out of them. But we're back with that kind of series today, and we're going to be going over probably one of the best plays, if not the best one in the entire formation. It's going to be this curl flat. Got some definite strong setups for this play. Using Hot Route Master, you could use Hot Route Master. I'm only going to use one ability necessarily, and it's going to be an Outside Apprentice for about one setup. You definitely could get even more glitchy if you had Hot Route Master, but we're just going to go over some of the standard setups and things you can do with that. Also, before you end the video, make sure you guys do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel, you're enjoying the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Drop a like if you want more of these videos as well. But yeah, so we're going to be in the Las Vegas Raiders playbook today and just going over this curl flat play. As I mentioned, Outside Apprentice, that's the only one I can use. But again, we're just going to be going over man, zone, all of that. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. Alright, starting out on the field, I got a couple of these basic setups to begin with. Then we'll hop into some of the more complicated stuff, some personal setups that I like better. These first one will be some setups that you've probably seen before if you watched Trips Head End before. But for this first setup, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to put A on a little out route. That's it. You're just going to put A on an out route, and overall that's it. I'm going to start out in man coverage, but you have a simple curl flat combo. You have a high-low on that left side. Also are going to have a high-low on this right-hand side with your little crosser / post route and out route. If I really wanted to, I could also smart route B. I'm not the biggest fan of doing that for this particular route combo, but we will have ones where we do smart route B. For this one, I like to leave him at where he is originally spaced at. And yeah, I'll just show what it looks like. Taking a look, you see the out route right off the bat is going to be wide open there. More times than not, especially if he's man up with that inside linebacker in particular, as he was for that play. In addition, you saw Gallup had some separation, and then you also have this route with Zeke with this check and release angle route. One of the most unique routes in the game, but also one of the best, if not the best, halfback route you can actually get, because if there's pressure sent, he's actually going to block. But you saw in that particular case, I believe, the player that was actually man up on the running back, not sure exactly who he is, but I think it might have been Singleton, I think is his name right here. But you just see how no one ends up manned up on him. So I could have easily thrown it to Zeke here. No, the man that was actually supposed to defend him ended up rushing the passer. So glitchy stuff like that can happen. And that's one of the reasons it's better than just a standard angle route. Again, against man coverage, we'll hit probably Gallup here. This time you saw Zeke was manned up. That's not too big of an issue because even if he is manned up, he should get separation, as Zeke's not exactly a receiving running back. Maybe I should have chose someone else, but you see he'll still get separation no matter if it's a slower back like Derrick Henry or a receiving one like McCaffrey. We did get pressure there, but you saw Gallup was open. And yeah, that's overall pretty much it for the first setup. I'll show it briefly against zone coverage here. We'll go to like a little cover 3 here, just kind of snap the ball. You see how I have the flats wide open. We're probably going to get shedded a lot throughout this game, just in the interior, just because Connor Williams and Joe Looney are not good. So we'll probably get shedded a little bit, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're not really blocking anybody. But that was pretty much it for the first setup. Show one more time against like a Tampa 2 here. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and snap the ball here. And you see check down to the flats, even with a touch pass. But yeah, in particular instances, sometimes that curl route will be open, sometimes it'll be the flat. We have a different route combo to kind of switch out if your curl route becomes a little bit useless, but we'll hop into that later. Now, our next setup out of this play is going to be pretty similar, but we're going to use Dalton Schultz's corner out to our advantage. If you actually smart out that tight end route, you see how short he gets. He's going to be really good against man coverage as well. We're going to use that to our advantage. So the thing that we're going to do is just drag Michael Gallup right here, taking a look. We just have this little simple drag to corner out combo, and then our curl flat on the left with, again, leaving Zeke Elliott on his route. You see here, he's going to be wide open just because, again, that little weird thing that happens where they rush in, and then he actually ends up going out on his route. So for whatever reason, the man coverage kind of registers him as a blocker, I guess. and then he ends up running his route. So very nice to have. Again, just drag B. Here I'm going to throw it to Dalton Schultz in that man coverage, and boom, look at the separation that he got. Now, that was a little bit of a route swap, and the reason that happened was because Zeke kind of ran his route immediately. I believe that didn't happen on the first one. Here you see, again, it kind of happens. Now, that might not happen every single time. I'll kind of show what it looks like if we actually block Zeke. Because if I go to my defensive player here, you see that the right linebacker is the one that's man up on him. So if I block Zeke, smart out A, drag B just like this, you see how now he's man up, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to get separation. I know that's a linebacker, but Dalton Schultz is also like a 73 overall, I think. So we don't exactly have a super good tight end as well. Pretty fair matchup. Let's go to zone coverage here. Let's set up a little double flat type setup, something like this. And again, all we're doing is dragging B and smart routing A. So the beauty of this is that you can actually end up getting some quick snaps off, which is very beneficial, especially to people that are going to make a lot of adjustments. Here you see we really could have thrown it to Zeke or the drag. And also if you do have playmaker on that inside guy, it can help as well. This isn't going to be super good against the double Mabel because, again, we have 2 routes on the outside on one side, 2 routes on the outside on the other. But we'll take advantage of that a little bit later. It's mainly good against like some stock coverage or man coverage, kind of mixed in with zone. Things like that it can be successful against. But let's go ahead and move into our next setup out of curl flat. This time we're going to smart out B. We're going to actually block Zeke for this one because we're going to end up having a slant, and you don't want the slant and angle route to kind of run into each other. So we'll just block him. We'll get better protection. But yeah, you're going to smart out B. You're going to actually streak A here, and then you're just going to put X on a backside slant like so. Go ahead and motion him over. This is really one of my favorite setups against man and zone. Just a little simple setup. A lot of times in trips, people get very complicated with the stuff that they're running. Sometimes it's just better to keep it simple. We had the slant wide open there, especially since Amari Cooper does have that route technician. But again, just smart out B, streak A, slant X. Let's actually shade over the top. I think we should get some better separation. Gallup actually got jammed pretty badly, hit the line of scrimmage there. Again, block your running back. I try to snap that slant as soon as I can. Here's stock man coverage on the post. You see Gallup was able to get really good separation there, and overall just take advantage of it. Let's go to zone coverage now. I'll set up like a cover 3. Now I did adjust my zone drops a little bit, so even if I played like a curl flat, it's going to play super deep. I think I have 20-yard curl flats here, so we'll just kind of reset the play. For whatever reason, like, let me reset it. For whatever, all right, there we go. So I was like audibling back to cover 3, and it was staying as cloud flats. I'm not sure why, but now we have everything situated. Sorry about that. Again, setting up just this same exact setup. Post route's going to be very, very solid in the middle of the field. Difficult to user. Our curl flats are at 20, but you see even with 20-yard curl flats, able to get over the top, and he actually kind of sat very low key. So again, they're set at 20. Even with 25, you could kind of see how it might still be able to get over the top. So pretty crazy with that crossing route, especially since we smart routed it. It's going to be a faster break. Overall, very successful. I love this route combo a lot just because that post route is so unique. And then again, against cover 3, we have like a little flat route combo over there. Geez, we're getting hit a heck of a lot. I mean, the Eagles pass rush is not this good. But yeah, you see how the flat route could get open for a stock cover 3. I could obviously check down to the flats immediately, more times than not. I'll show it one more time here, then we will hop into our next setup. And again, I can't do everything that I might want to because I kind of trying to use less abilities. But still, you see Cooper open. Should have lowballed that. But if you waited, I'm sure CD or Cooper would have been opened up a little bit more. Yeah, with that being said, let's hop into our next setup. And now we're going to use the outside apprentice a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this relatively stock. Basically, all I'm going to do is smart out A, and I'm just going to put X on this deeper post. Now, we have a little bit of a choice to make here with our B receiver. I can either smart out B if I want to, or I don't have to. Now, I personally like to smart out B here. These guys are not going to run into each other despite them kind of running to the same area in the play art. Schultz is going to go further outside. Gallup stays in the middle. As you've seen, he goes very deep. And then the last thing you're just going to do is smart out X. So again, you could test this out. Choose for yourself if you want to smart out B or not. Again, I kind of like to smart route him just because I want him as more of a slant, and I want a little bit more space for Amari on the outside. But yeah, we're going to use the outside apprentice. If you have Hot Route Master, you can 100% do this as well. Just put him on that deeper post. Again, I like to smart route him as well, but we're going to snap the ball. This just gives us a lot of options. I have A open, even if B is covered as he was right there. We have X wide open as well. So again, the setup, just post X, smart out B, smart out A, and then you can also smart out X for the trilogy, whatever you want to call it. But there you see Zeke wide open, and overall it's just going to be a ton of crossing routes, a ton of routes that beat man coverage. Usually all three of them should, especially if it's shade over the top man coverage. Cooper's going to get open, Gallup's going to get open, and then obviously you saw Zeke Elliott there. If it's zone coverage, it still will work. You see Cooper there is still going to get separation. Now, shade over the top is going to be a little bit worse for us on that deeper post, as you saw there. Pretty good coverage, even with our route technician. So that deeper post is going to be better if they're running stock shade underneath man coverage. And again, with better receivers, Gallup's going to become more consistent. Schultz will get a lot more open quicker. Let's go to zone coverage. I'll set up just like a random Tampa 2. We'll put X in an inside third, something just kind of like this. And you'll see how, boom, Gallup, he can get open right there. I can kind of fit it in. I had Schultz on the outside. Overall, it's a lot to do. But I'm going to take this setup a step further, one more adjustment further. What I'm going to do next is I'm just going to go ahead and run it the exact same way, but I'm going to put Zeke Elliott on a little option. Now, this is specifically for zone coverage, because if it's man coverage, he's actually going to break outside. But again, zone, he ends up sitting on the inside. And when you have no routes sitting in the middle of the field really like that, they're all kind of running to the same side besides our flat. I think it can be important for Zeke just to kind of sit there, put a little bit of pressure on the user. And a lot of times Zeke's going to get open, especially if he's going to have to worry about Amari Cooper. Now, depends on how he's using, depends on how he's actually playing it or defending it. But if I set up like another one of these double Mabel type setups, you will see that Zeke should just sit there wide open. Again, even if he does user B, RB is going to be open. Or if he uses RB, I can throw it to B. So it is still a very difficult job on the user to make. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I do like it. Now, the next way to run this is we're going to make CeeDee Lamb a little bit more useful. So what I can actually do with CeeDee is I can kind of put him on a backside drag. This is if I wanted to block Zeke Elliott. I could also throw him on a slant. I kind of like this drag just a little bit better just because the slant, you can kind of take away multiple things at once. But with this backside drag, you see really it's not going to be in the way of our short post with Gallup or our deeper post with Amari Cooper. And this is just mixing in another guy motion. We've consistently motioned Amari Cooper for those setups. But now we have one where we motion another guy. So it's not a complete tell. If we motion one guy, we're always going to run curl flat. And obviously there's other plays in the offense. But again, smart out B, smart out A, you can post X. And I could honestly leave X on his curl as well and still run the setup the same way. If I wanted to, I realistically could leave Zeke Elliott on his little angle route. And it's still set up relatively well here. I still have my options. I just feel like it gets a little bit congested in the middle of the field. So when I motion over that drag route, personally, I like to block Zeke. But if you're really good with your reads, you have to be really sharp. If you're running a particular setup like that, it's definitely an option to do. I'll show it one more time, and again, this time I'll block Zeke, smart out A, smart out B, drag Y, motion him across. Just basic combo like this can be very, very successful. You see how Schultz is open. I can lowball it to Amari, aggressive catch. Pretty good coverage there. Usually that's a catch. Dak obviously doesn't have the gunslinger, so they have more time to make the play. But with gunslinger, that curl route's usually money. Low ball, aggressive catch, and you'll be set up well. But overall, that's going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more. Follow me on Twitter, link will be down below in the description. And yeah, peace, I'm out of here.